Hi all, welcome back to my channel and my next episode of What's on My Frame. And as you can see, again, another charity quilt. I am currently working on a quilt for a family friend for their wedding. I've done some snowballs and some 9 patches for it. I need to cut out the thimble sizes, which it's my first time doing thimbles and constructing that. And this is actually a thimble, so that's why I'm kind of referring to it. So that's going to be my first time doing that kind of a quilt. These tops come to me pre-made, so I just have this one on, and it's got reds, blues, whites, stars on it. So I feel like it's a very patriotic quilt, honestly, for the colors. And somebody might want to pick it out or buy it because it reminds them of a quilt of valor. So I did have some thread that I'm going to be quilting it up with that is a mixture of red, white, and blue. And I'm thinking for this, because there are stars in it and it's a bit geometric-y, I'm kind of going to do like a mixture. So I think I'm going to do something along the line where I'm doing a meander with stars just kind of throughout it, just to give it a little bit more texture and to bring the star theme into this. So it's a pretty decent sized quilt. We'll see how long this takes me to quilt. And maybe during this process, I'll be giving you an update on some of my other projects going on right now. So kind of just like a catch up of maybe what I'm doing knitting and spinning wise, and maybe just discussing quilting in general, because I'm going to try and cut down a lot out of this video, but it might also still be a little bit of a length because usually I try to show quilting from start to finish. So I might be jumping back between close-up quilting and processes of me, just getting the whole entire visual of me going across the quilt as well. So let's just get started on this. So now that we've started on this quilting journey, I'm going to be giving you guys some updates as to what I've been up to. Real quick quilting update. I was working on a quilt for friends. They got married recently, so this is kind of their wedding present, very much belated. But that is my first project to get done with quilting. I am also finishing off the binding on my sister's Stonehenge quilt. So I think last year she got this panel from the Stonehenge collection, and it has Stonehenge on it. And then I made a couple of blocks with fabrics that she had been collecting and wanted to put together as kind of blocks that would go around this panel and add borders to it. And so this quilt is kind of like a twin size quilt size, so it should fit over her bed. And so right now I've already put the binding on, and I'm just stitching that binding to the back, and it should pretty much complete. I think there's just a few threads that need to be pulled into the batting from the front quilting that happened. I actually did not quilt this quilt for her. She hired a long armor to do some custom quiltings to kind of make that panel pop, and I just didn't feel like I had the confidence to give her what she wanted. So she's done that, and that's something I should be finishing up within the next day or so. As for quilting, knitting, I'm currently working on a pattern that was created by Tanis Yarns. It's called the Rocket T in DK weight yarn. And so for this, it's kind of like this really cute pullover sweater that has these puffy sleeves that I absolutely am in love with. And this is the first time with my knitting that I have decided to use a cotton linen blend yarn. So I'm hoping it's kind of more like a nice top that I can kind of wear with maybe just a tank top underneath it. So I don't think it'll get super warm, but hopefully it'll be like a nice little buffer from the sun in my area. I'm from the Southwest, so it gets pretty hot out here. And so I'm mostly done with the body. I still got a few more inches to add at the bottom. And then I'll be starting the sleeves. I think with this project, I'm going to attempt to learn how to work two sleeves at the same time, just to get comfortable, because it doesn't seem like they're very complicated sleeves. There's just some increases to make the puffs at the end close to the wrists, and then decreases. So hopefully that will be an easy learning process, and then that will be done. Before I started working on this tennis rocket tee, I finished the Lydia tank top. It's very cute. It's in purple. It's got these beautiful speckles. I was originally thought I was going to have to play yarn chicken with it, but luckily I had enough yarn. I still have some left over, and I don't know what to do with it. I have a lot of yarn left over, and I really do need to maybe come up with like a very mishmash, scrappy pattern, and just like make a scrappy sweater that, I can wear it and not overly care about if, it gets worn, because at least I made stuff out of my scraps. What else with knitting? I think I'm still debating this because, as you know, I have way too many projects going on, and I signed up for a white elephant thing. It's something that's a group of my friends from high school have been doing for quite a few years now. And honestly, I think this is my first time actually attempting to participate. I'm usually really bad about keeping in contact with my friends. I'm very much a solo, don't need a lot of interaction with people. I get a lot of that at work, so I tend to really enjoy my alone time when I finally get home, and that makes me really bad at, keeping in contact with my friends and stuff. So this year I'm trying to be a little more proactive in that, especially during the holiday season. I think it would be really fun, especially, because we're still dealing with COVID and there's always a new variant coming out. So it's just like a continual battle, especially for the healthcare industry and just the fact that we're globalized, and it's not an easy disease to deal with. And so people, are staying home and just, keeping in contact with friends and trying to be more proactive with the FaceTime and checking in on them, because it has been pretty stressful couple of years now, almost. And so, yeah, I am debating doing a shawl for the white elephant gift exchange. I think we'll be doing it in January, so it won't be like around Christmas time. Also, we have a lot of friends that, celebrate various religious holidays, and so it's not just about Christmas, but it's just like the whole entire season of gift exchanging and checking in with loved ones. So I'm hoping maybe I have enough time for that. So I'm really working on that tennis sweater top, and then hopefully pushing into that. We'll see what happens. Worst case scenario, if I can't do that, we luckily, the friend that's organizing this is really good about asking all those detailed questions and giving you hints as to what the person that you get would like, and so that's always a good backup to see what they want from there. I think that's it for knitting. Spinning, I am for the first time ever attempting to go from roving to sweater. So for my spinning project right now, I've had this merino roving that I got processed years ago. It's been sitting in my closet for the longest time, and this year it's time to start using it, putting it to use. So for this project, I already have a pattern selected. It's going to be for a colorwork sweater. I still haven't decided if I want to steek it down the front, cut it, and kind of make it a buttoned up cardigan, or if I just want to leave it whole. So I'm working on spinning up the yarn singles for that right now. I'm going to do a 3-ply, and I'm also doing a technique where you spin up 2 of the singles with Z-ply, which is clockwise, and then one of your singles, the third single, you spin up with S-twist, which is counterclockwise, but then you will be plying all these yarns together counterclockwise. So the other 2 Z-twists kind of, even out, but you get a little extra twist into your S-spun single. And that kind of builds some rigidity to your yarn. It gives it a little bit more wearability and elasticity. So it's just the first time I'm attempting that technique, because, since I will be putting so much time and work into it is just, I want to make sure that it can be worn for quite a few years before they start wearing out. So I will be making videos for that eventually, going through that process. And then for the new year, just, thoughts about the new year. I tend to make baked goods for my family and friends because I'm trying to take it away from buying people stuff, and more like spending my time and my skills and giving little gifts to family, because it's more like connecting to the family. I'm trying to stop making it that commercialized feel. So that's one of my goals. And then for my New Year's resolution, my goal is to try and use up a lot of my stash, whether it be fiber, yarn, fabric, just trying to use more of that and get that out. I honestly don't have that much for all my hobbies, but it's just something that it would be nice to do. So yeah, let me know what you guys are doing for your New Year's resolution, if you do that. What you do to connect with your loved ones during this holiday season. And I hope everybody stays safe and healthy, and have a happy holiday. Happy holidays to you all. So as always, happy crafting, and I will see you guys in the near future. All right, so that is a wrap on this session of what's on my frame. As you can see, you can have the meanderings coming about, and you get these little random speckles of stars here and there. Another star there, just like a really fun pattern. My original drawing probably was a little sharp, but with the sewing machine and moving it, those edges tend to, smooth out a little bit, so it definitely is a little bit more of a meandering. And so you can really see it gives it a lot of fun texture to this quilt, and I think that the red, white, and blue stitches and thread is actually a really nice touch to this. Let's flip it over to the back. As you can see, very good tension here. It was a thicker batting, so that usually helps out with my tensions, because sometimes it kind of loosens and tightens as you're going through your bobbin, just slightly. So a little thicker batting, once it gets washed, will help kind of fluff out and retension some of those slightly looser spots. But even on the back, you can kind of see the pattern throughout this whole entire quilt. And so that is a wrap for this week. If you like this kind of material, please like and subscribe. And I will see you again when I have more charity quilts or one of my own quilts to quilt. I'm currently out, so I need to go to the guild meeting and grab more stuff. But until then, I hope you guys have a wonderful holiday this coming month, whatever you're celebrating. And we'll see you guys later, or maybe even into the new year. Thanks again.